Now, locked and loaded and ready to go. Those were the American President Donald Trump's words on social media, posted just hours before American bombs fell on Venezuela. But that message from Trump was actually aimed at Iran, if it were to crack down on the protests. The message kicked off a week of mounting threats from the White House. Before his return to the Oval Office, Donald Trump had campaigned on a promise to pull back from foreign wars. He had pledged to end the American involvement in forever wars abroad. And yet, what the American president is now doing is clearly getting embroiled in one war after another conflict. Now, the list of countries facing possible U.S. military action continues to grow. However, Trump has called himself the President of Peace, ironically, and often repeats this title for himself in speech after speech and post after post, and also claims that he deserves the Nobel Prize for Peace for stopping 7, 8, 9 wars, as he claims.
In 6 wars, I've ended 6 wars, and I thought this maybe would be the easiest one, and it's not the easiest one. It's a tough one. A lot of reasons for it, and they'll be talking about it for a long time, but they'll be talking about the others.
All right, now, Donald Trump says one thing, but his actions seem not to match his intentions. As the year began, he launched an operation that captured the Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and also Maduro's wife. They're currently in New York, standing trial on charges of narco-terrorism. The Trump administration hasn't stopped there. It is already threatening further military action against Venezuela. Now, Trump has also threatened other sovereign nations under what the U.S. calls the Monroe Doctrine, that is now being refashioned as the Dunroe Doctrine. Reports show that during Trump's current term, multiple countries are in a state of war or conflict, and the exact count is building as the events continue to unfold. Now, according to reports last year, Trump ordered 626 missile strikes worldwide, 71 more than President Biden did in his entire 4-year term. The targets have included places such as Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Somalia, Nigeria, Iran, and also the waters of Venezuela and Colombia. Before capturing Maduro, the American military had attacked a Venezuelan port and it killed more than 100 people in bombings in the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean. Lately, Trump has threatened to strike Iran if it cracks down on demonstrators protesting the government's dismal economic policies in Tehran's streets. And his administration has also taken aim at Cuba and Colombia, hinted at intervention in Mexico, renewed annexation aspirations in Greenland, and reiterated threats to Iran. Now, the American president often rails against the forever wars that America had been embroiled in, but he relishes in some pretty swift bombings and some dramatic covert ops. Strikes, raids, and threats mark the period since Trump has returned to the Oval Office. And this surge is happening across continents and oceans. Each move draws the United States deeper into global tensions. South Africa has commenced a major naval exercise with Russia, China and Iran off its coast and has described this as essential amidst rising global maritime tensions. Now, dubbed Will for Peace 2026, the exercise will run until the 16th of January at the opening ceremony. South Africa called the China-led drills to be a demonstration of collective resolve to work together and to ensure the safety of international shipping and maritime economic activities.
Exercise Will for Peace 2026 is more than a military engagement. It is a demonstration of our collective resolve to work together under the theme Joint Actions to Ensure the Safety of Shipping Lane and Maritime Economy Activities. In an increasingly complex maritime environment, cooperation such as this is not optional, it is essential.
The participating navies include destroyer and support vessels from China and Iran, with Russian corvettes also joining in. Additional BRICS members, including the likes of Indonesia, Ethiopia and Brazil, are participating as observers. The joint drills were initially scheduled for last November and were postponed due to a clash with the G20 summit in Johannesburg, which was boycotted by the United States. Now, the United States, which recently intervened in Venezuela and seized a Russian-flagged oil tanker, has criticized Pretoria's growing military ties with Russia and Iran. Now, Donald Trump's administration has also accused South Africa and the BRICS bloc of being anti-American and has warned members that they could face an additional 10% tariff on top of existing duties already applied worldwide. The protesters gathered outside of the naval base and called out Moscow's participation in the drills. They also carried signs that read "No to the Russian Navy in South African waters."
Ukrainians and me as Ukrainian, it is emotional and hard for us to see that Russian Navy that killing Ukrainian people doing its Navy training in South African waters. So we ask South Africa stop cooperation with Russian Navy training because that is a part of Russian military and army that kills peaceful Ukrainians and attacks with aggression sovereign country of Ukraine.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.